I'm gonna cut right to the chase. Omniscient Reader surprised the hell out of me. If you haven't heard of this series, I don't blame you because it's a pretty hard sell. I found out about it through a webtoon and wasn't exactly sure if I'd like it, but now I'm excited to say that this one is definitely deserving of your attention. Like a lot of you, I've been on my big webtoon kick lately, so I've been reading a ton of new stuff, Omniscient Reader being one of them. If I'm being honest, when I first heard the premise, I thought it was kinda dumb and generic, but it took a really interesting turn that piqued my interest hard.
Hard, huh?
Oh, jeez. You can't keep scaring me like that.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Just prepare an introduction next time.
Okay. So you were saying?
Ah, I see I've piqued your interest as well.
Just tell me what it's about, and it better be good too.
Okay, so the series is about this guy named Dokja Kim. He's a bit of a shut-in who doesn't really have any hobbies other than reading web novels on his phone. This one web novel in particular is his favorite. It's called 3 Ways to Survive in the Apocalypse. The thing is, no one else likes the novel but him, so the chapters all have one view on them, which makes him the only person in the world to have viewed this story. Hold on, stick with me. The story starts on the day the final chapter is released. Once Dokja finishes the last chapter, he gets a gift sent to him by the author. Moments later, everything goes to chaos. Suddenly, creatures are appearing and the very nature of their world changes. Literally everyone is dazed and confused. They freak out by the situation, but Dokja quickly puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that the novel he had just finished reading has now become his very reality. Then suddenly these creatures spawn called Dokubi. They appear and essentially act as game masters and put the characters through deadly scenarios for the sake of entertainment. There's a really cool and interesting reason for this that I won't spoil, but trust me, it's really cool.
So, what? It's just a survival battle royale type of thing?
Not exactly. The main character in the novel he's reading is following the main route of the story, so Dokja has to try his best to keep the narrative on track while also staying alive. You see, he's not supposed to be there, so his very existence changes the natural course of the story. He can't change major story beats or else the ending he read may cease to exist. His knowledge of being the reader is what makes him so powerful.
Ah, hence the name Omniscient Reader.
Yes, exactly. He's not an overpowered character either. There's even a point in the story where he makes a decision that forces him to be underpowered compared to everyone else. So there's always that feeling of tension whenever he comes face to face with any new threat. Also, despite all the fantastical stuff happening, the people are still normal human beings, but they now have a leveling system tied to them that can make them stronger. Essentially, every task and scenario that they complete grants them coins that they can then put towards their stats. You can upgrade your strength and notice the immediate change in your muscle mass, or upgrade your stamina and agility. Odds are, you've probably seen systems like these done before in other series, but what I love about this one is that it goes all in on the RPG mechanics. For example, whenever Dokja encounters another person or interacts with them, his status changes with that person. You'll see the tiny messages appear on the panel saying so-and-so has started to trust you, or your understanding of so-and-so has increased.
Your understanding of nerd stuff has lowered my respect for you. Like that?
Oh, ha, yes, exactly like that. You know, your lack of creativity and your insults has lowered my respect for you.
Touché.
Looks like I might have struck a nerve. So, here's what really sold me on this series. The main character in the novel Dokja reads is not the type of person you'd expect. He's very edgy and kind of an awful protagonist. The guy's been reliving the same life over and over, so he's at a point where he's numb to everything and isn't trying to trust anyone, which makes the character dynamic a lot more interesting because Dokja himself doesn't have a lot of respect towards him. As a reader, he knows the trauma and hardships that this guy went through and all the mistakes that he will make in the future. It's like they are both competing for the spotlight of being the main character. That concept is just so cool to me. In any other series, they would have just made Dokja a huge fanboy and have him act like more of a follower who's trying to survive with the aid of the main character from the novel. It gives the series more of an identity and feels less like a gimmick and more like a reinvention of the isekai genre. Omniscient Reader was a pleasant surprise. In a world where every other series is just another lazy copy-paste of the last, I'm actually excited to see where this one goes.
Well, it certainly does sound interesting, but I don't know. Still pretty nerdy if you ask me.
Oh, come on. After all that, you can't tell me it didn't even sound the least bit cool.
Let's say I was interested in checking it out. Where might one find this series? You know, for research purposes.
I'm glad you asked. You can find Omniscient Reader on Webtoon. It's free to read, and you can access it on iOS and Android.
Do I classify as an android?
Sure?
Yay.
Seem a little excited there.
Me? Excited? Please.
Okay. Well, if you are as interested as my computer seems to be, you can check out Omniscient Reader in the description down below.
Thanks for watching!